So from a feeding point of view for Henry and Belle, we're looking at changing their diet over from one that's been very cereal based, which is kind of high in sugar and starch, into one that's far more fibre based, which will hopefully keep them far more balanced, more suitable as riding horses as opposed to racing horses, who they need the sugar to be able to accelerate in the ways that they need them to do. So what we have them on 4 small feeds a day. They're used to being fed 4 times a day as race horses. Ordinarily horses that tend to come in for schooling, or our livery horses, will maybe be fed twice a day. We're feeding these guys still 4 times a day at the moment, because we're trying to put a little bit of weight on them. So rather than give them 2 massive feeds, we're splitting that over 4 feeds throughout the day so that their guts have a chance to cope with all the food. We're feeding them alpha 8 oil as their sort of fibre bulk bit of their feed. They're also getting a balancer so that they get all their vitamins and minerals, and we don't have to worry about that in any compound feeds. In addition to that, we're feeding a product called Build and Glow, which really does what it says on the tin. We're feeding that in small quantities at the minute, just so that it gives them a chance to sort of put a wee bit more bulk on their bones, but we're not overloading their system with too many calories all at once. From a supplement point of view, because they're race horses, and they've been used to having a cereal-based diet, and we're really changing their diet quite noticeably, we're feeding a gastric aid, which is full of prebiotics and probiotics and yeast, to help their guts cope with this change, and also just to eliminate any sort of worries about ulcers and things like that might have been developed from being fed cereal-based diet for so long. The good news is they are only young, they're 4 and 5, and they aren't actually showing any other symptoms that would be associated with gastric ulcers. But it's there as a precaution and also to aid the transition from the feed that they've been on to the feed that they're on now. Supplement wise, also we're feeding just garlic. This time of year, as much as today is a torrential downpour, to help fight away flies and stuff, but also it's really good as an immunity booster as well, garlic. So we're feeding that as well at the moment. So no doubt this will change as they go on. As they put weight on, then we'll reduce the quantity of feed that they're getting. They'll also will know more about what their temperament's like when we ride them, and that will affect what we feed them as well. But for the next week or so, that's what they'll be getting fed, and hopefully we'll notice a big difference in them very soon.